that a lot of these kids have played for me last summer, whether it was with the student team or the team. So the concepts are the same, and this was kind of like a refreshing course. But ideally, you'd like to have a couple weeks to practice and put things in and scrimmage and so on. But time constraints don't allow it because we're at the whim of those countries. Those countries are trying to get ready for the World Championships, and we can only go over there when they want to play. It's a good schedule, but we won't have all of our players, but we'll have a really good group to go over and compete.
How seamless is it for guys who played on maybe the boys team versus your student team versus the men's team? Because you're going with this rotating pool.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that we did 2 years ago is that we got together as a coaching staff at all levels, whether it was Dave DeVero, Roy, and myself, and we put together how we want to play as a nation, and we started to develop that. Obviously, every team is going to have its tweaks based on their personnel, but as a country, we want to play the same way. So I don't think we're going to see the rewards of that right now, but hopefully in 4 or 5 years, the kids will come through the junior program and play the same way for a longer period of time, and it'll be better. But it's one of the things when Steve came back, is we want to develop a program from the ground right up to the senior level.
And how would you define like this play style that you're hoping to build? Like, what's the base part going to look like?
What we've done is we've looked at who we are as a basketball nation and the length that we have and the athleticism that we have and the depth that we have. And we think that we can be a team that can apply a lot of pressure. We can turn teams over, turn them into points going the other way. I think we're going to have the privilege in 2 or 3 years where we're going to have enough quality players that we can play a lot of people, shorter minutes, so that in tournaments where we're playing 9 games in 11 days, we can rotate players in faster, where some countries may be depending on 1 or 2 guys to play a lot of minutes in a longer tournament. So we think our depth is going to be advantage, so we're going to try to use our athleticism and the depth of talent that we have.
So is that where like this platoon system that they're going to implement?
Well, yeah, and it's funny, the platoon system, I did it last year with the student team because we wanted to see a lot of guys play and figure out who could play, but we found it to be very successful because at the 5-minute mark, 5 guys came in, they were fresh, and they kind of attacked the second unit of the other team, or the guys that had started who were getting a little bit fatigued. Players knew when they were going to sub into a game, or sometimes, you catch a guy off guard, he doesn't know anything to go. They could sit there and get mentally prepared to go in, and we ended up going 9-0 in China, and then we had a good run while we were in Russia at the World University Games as well. So we thought, it's not a bad thing to even keep doing this year. Our goal is to get these guys the experience and play. And that's, sometimes it's hard to show what you can do in 2 or 3 minutes, but if I give you 20 minutes in a game, you have a better chance.
Yeah. Other teams have been successful. For example, Spain's always had a handful of guys they could rely on year in, year out, championship to championship. Are you still looking for who that is going to be despite all the names we're familiar with?
Yeah, I don't think, I'm hoping that it's not going to be one name that does it for us. I mean, I know in the 2000 Olympics, Steve was the guy, and someone may evolve in that role, but also in 99, before we qualified, the team that was like us, very, very young, and we ended up beating them to qualify, was Argentina. And those players took that loss, not qualifying for the Olympics. And they started forming the Oberto, the Ginobili, the Scolas, who are still playing and representing their country. And I think that we can be more like that, where there's a handful of players. And the longer we play together, the more cohesive we'll be. And that team was very, very cohesive. They had a great run. So I think that's more who we can be like. I don't think there's a one guy who can really stand out. And nor do I want them to be. I mean, we've got a lot of talent. We'll find different guys who can play.
And after last night again, Jason Whitlock said he felt like Canadian players lacked the motivation and the drive, maybe American players or European players in the NBA. I'm wondering what you think of that.
Well, I didn't hear the quote, and I'm not sure what he's referring to. He doesn't have the drive? Yeah. I guess he's entitled to his opinion. I can't really comment on it because I haven't had the opportunity to coach Andrew yet, and I will when he plays for Canada. It's obviously a better decision.
And broader picture, you said Canadians. You mentioned that Canadians, the perception is they're not tough enough, not enough. That's within NBA people.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Steve's pretty tough to be able to play with him and do what he's doing. I think Chris is a tough player. Robert Saxon is a tough player. I mean, I know we maybe go on this trip and drop the gloves a little bit, create that hockey mentality, then we'll define ourselves a little bit better. But you know, I think maybe we're picking on the young players before they've had a chance. I mean, we haven't even, we've been through a summer league. We haven't, you know, and they're young. So let's give our kids a chance. And you know what? To be honest, this trip will help us define our toughness because we're going to be playing against men who are representing their country and get ready to play in the World Championships on their soil. And it's going to be, this isn't going to be easy. We'll find out a little bit about our toughness. While we're on this trip, and it's something that will evolve as these players get more experience.
And you put together a pretty good schedule. How cleaner would it have been if you made it to Worlds and been able to define your summer more advanced for some of the guys?
Yeah, I think that obviously would have been a little bit easier because it happens like the rest of the world stops while the World Championship stops. So, you know, the NBA players will be going, the Americans will be going. It might have been a little bit easier that way, but I don't know if we would have had the quality games. Like we would have had our pool play and maybe a couple of exhibition games, but we weren't going to get anybody coming to Canada this year. You know, we tried to play a game here, but teams that are getting ready for the World Championships aren't going to travel across the Atlantic to play a game here and then travel back. They're trying to reduce the amount of travel that they have. So we're going to go into their countries and we're going to play and get the experience, and we're going to get more quality games than we would at the World Championships for sure.
Thank you.